Welcome to Techzine Talks. We're at SAP Sapphire in Orlando, and we're talking to Thomas Pfiester. He's the head of global customer engagement and services, and we're talking to him today about adoption, for example, of SAP products. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. The pace of innovation in IT is going up every year,
Yep.
it seems, and now with the AI era, it shifted gears again, and we're going faster again. And they always say the slowest day in IT is today. But it's becoming a bit of a, it was already a bit of a problem for many customers, but it's getting a larger problem now because, there's so much to pay attention to. And how do you help your customers adapt to all these new technologies and all these innovations happening? Because I think that's a struggle, especially in an ERP space, for example.
Yeah, look, I think first and foremost, I'm very happy that it is actually now top of mind of our customers. When I go back in the past, very much when we did the transformation programs, IT projects, where adoption was never top of mind. When we talk about training and adoption, it was the last thing our customers paid attention on. So having this now really top of mind of our customers is actually good. So I'm very happy that now the conversation is all about adoption. Yeah? And I think the way we as SAP, we help our customers is, I would say, threefold. Yeah? One is, of course, with tools. Yeah? I mean, we have WalkMe now as a digital adoption platform, which really brings user guidance at the fingertip. We are on the screen, you're in your browser, and you get at the transaction on fingertip instructions. So we help our users to go through the process. WalkMe can go both.
Oh, okay.
WalkMe can go both. Yeah. And then, of course, what we also do is with the methodology now, we are focusing a lot on rebuilding the methodology. I mean, in the past, we had in the very old days, ASAP, I think it was. Then we had Activate. Now with the RISE methodology, we put adoption in the focus. So methodology-wise, we do it. And then, I mean, thirdly, what we also do is we are going to launch the new portfolio for services. And this is really all about adoption. So this will be launched here on Sapphire, the new service portfolio. We're revamping entirely how we engage with our customers. Here, it's about innovation, consumer innovation, and adoption across the entire stack.
But how do you look at customers that use SAP or bought it, but just use a fraction of the features that are in there? Because I think that's what happens in many platforms.
Yeah.
That you're definitely not alone on this. You see it at different products as well. Customers just use a fraction, and there's so much more possible. But it's getting sometimes there's just no time to research it or to learn how to implement the features. Is there a way forward in that?
Yeah, I think, and that's the beauty of SaaS now, because you have telemetry. So really what's the beauty of SaaS is that we can use and we can measure the adoption and the usage, but also our customers, they have SAP for Me as a portal. They can go in and they can really see what features they use. And with that, of course, they can also see if there's unused features and functionalities, which they can, of course, implement, adopt to go forward. So I think that's the big difference, actually, between SaaS and on-premise, that we can use telemetry in this environment.
Okay. In the last few years, we've seen Gen AI pop up, and now you see all the agents coming. Do you think that's going to change the way features get adopted? Because AI can help users in that as a way.
I mean, it does already, no? I mean, and if we look at it, now when we talk about, again, from an SAP perspective, we look at Joule for Consultants, for instance, which is an AI agent we use, which is really accelerating the implementation and the adoption of SAP solutions. The same Joule for Developer, we will do the same. We generate code and we generate it clean core compliant. And I think AI is everywhere within the tools, specifically on the adoption journey. We also see our partners, our global partners, to leverage AI in their implementation and adoption programs with our customers. So for me, AI is there, and AI will help. And that's the great thing about this now. It will help us really to be faster and faster time to value for our customers using AI. So we expect that the implementation cycles get shorter by using AI. And then with that, of course, there's also for our customers faster possibility to adopt their innovations.
Yeah, so you've run many programs to increase adoption, and you're using telemetry. But do you see like a root cause why companies aren't adopting technology? Is there something similar in those companies where it doesn't go that fast, or?
I mean, first and foremost, I believe that, I would argue that actually the adoption rate is pretty high, because when we look at the telemetry of our SaaS solutions, there's a very high level of adoption across. Even more, there's an expansion. It actually goes in the other way, because as more the users are using the solutions, as more it expands as well. So I don't see really, at least in my experience and what I see, that there is less adoption. There's actually more adoption.
Okay. SAP is going really fast now with the AI agents. You're one of the platform companies that's big enough to build your own future and without being dependent on a hyperscaler, for example. You partner with them for all sorts of features, but you can develop it on your own. You will allow your customers to do this in Q3, I believe. You're a bit later than some of your competitors. How much do you think that matters, being a bit later than others?
No, I don't think that really matters. I mean, first and foremost, and we have 34,000 customers already using it. And I mean, for me, it's not about being the first one or being the last one, right? I mean, what we see is that our customers, they really embrace our agents. I mean, the adoption, coming back to adoption of Joule, is pretty high in our customers, and the feedback we get is actually that they want to use it more, because let's put it the other way around. I think, and we can be all honest about it. I think it was even on stage today. I mean, SAP GUI was not the most attractive user interface. Let's put it that way.
I think that goes for many solutions in the past. So.
And with the agents, of course, I mean, just the user interaction is so easy. And for me, I don't think that we are actually late. I think we're at the right time now, and now giving with the Joule Studio also more options to our customers to build their own environment. I think that's the right time where we're doing it.
And Joule is going to be way more prominent in the UX.
It will be everywhere.
Yeah, so the starting point for many customers will be Joule in the future.
Yeah, that's the entry point. That's the idea, really, that our customers are interacting with SAP systems via the agents.
Yeah. Does that mean your job changes as well? That you need to make sure Joule comes up with the right feature set and the right possibilities of the platform when the questions are asked?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we are using Joule, of course, internally. I mean, SAP runs SAP. My teams, our consultants, I mean, they're all leveraging Joule for consultants, and we have great feedback. I mean, savings, 1 hour, 2 hours, depending on the task, up to 3-4 hours are possible. And I mean, clearly, I mean, we run SAP, we use SAP, so I personally also see Joule as, for me, the interface to interact with the SAP systems, as it's for all our SAP colleagues.
So your main focus is for the coming period to get adoption to Joule, or?
I mean, Joule is one part of it, right? I mean, Joule is the agent, but then, of course, we need to look at data. We need to look at the applications. So if you remember, foundation, data, AI. At the end, of course, right now we're building the foundation. The foundation is really the suite. We are moving our customers into the suite. We're building AI on it. And now with BDC also, we build the data layer around it. And if you bring this all together, I mean, Joule is one component of it, but it's not only Joule, of course. Adoption is much more than Joule, but it's part of it.
How far does your reach go for the adoption? Do you also look at integration with third parties to get more adoption within the SAP platform? Because if you can leverage data, maybe even from competitors or other SaaS platforms, you can make the adoption in SAP even higher.
I mean, that's where we have BDC, business data cloud now, where we're bringing SAP data and non-SAP data together, and then we have the layer on top with the agents here, where then you can interact with the data, with AI. So, to answer your question, yes, of course. I mean, now the next level for us and the next big thing is to bring SAP and non-SAP data together.
Where do you see your challenge? Because it sounds so easy. Everything you're saying sounds easy.
Look, I mean, transformation is a journey. I mean, and as you rightly said, I mean, and what we have to do is, as SAP, we have to guide our customers. We have to be the advisor and the transformation partner to our customers. I mean, helping our customers throughout this journey, I wouldn't say it's a challenge, because we are ready for that. We have the methodology, we have the RISE methodology. There we have the tool chain where we talked about, we integrate the tools. We have the capabilities. Yes, we have enterprise architects guiding our customers, and now with the new service portfolio coming, it's for we are driving this outcomes for our customers. So I would not say it's a challenge. It's a journey, it's a process, but we are ready for it.
What's different in your service portfolio now compared to the past?
I mean, now looking at SaaS, of course, our focus is much more on adoption, ensuring that it's not just setting a customer live, but really ensuring that the customer uses our solutions, unlocks the value out of it. So the portfolio is much more focused on the long term, yes, number one. Secondly, of course, also with RISE and with SaaS, we are looking into a different set of services we are providing to our customers, much more value outcome driven, less technical, more outcome and more business transformation driven. So in the new portfolio, we have much more transformation services embedded, for instance. We have much more value generating services included. And with that, we will see here on Sapphire now also with the announcements how this new portfolio will actually change the way our customers engage with SAP, vice versa. And it also is complementary to our partners. It's very important that the new portfolio is complementing our ecosystem, our partners. So actually it's like three together, making this journey successful.
It's an interesting one because adoption is part of your responsibility in your role.
Yeah.
But for your customers, how much goes to the partner and how much is SAP? Because you also work with a lot of partners. So you have implementation partners, you probably also have implementation partners that help with adoption.
So look, I mean, we have a partner strategy in SAP. I mean, we are not aiming to be a system integrator. We never aim to be a system integrator. Our role really is to complement, to advise, to complement, to help our partners and our customers throughout this transformation journey. So I see us really as sitting at the table, guiding, advising, and keeping the journey, right? I think that's our role here. It's purely complementary.
And as you're focused on more and integrating it into WalkMe, for example, and making sure that helps users, or is it also being at the table? How much is your focus on the digital and how much on the people?
I suppose. I think with the tools, and as more tools come in, I mean, as more activities will be digitized, yes, and of course that's a benefit because it will be automated, etc. But I mean, there will always be human interactions as well. And I mean, we do support our partners in their implementation projects. We support our customers in their implementation projects. So I think it will be a combination, but you rightly said, I mean, the automation and the tooling will increase, of course, and there will be then less and less human interaction. Take Joule for developer and Joule for consultants, right? I mean, now you can generate code out of AI and it's clean core compliant. You can test the code. I mean, that's all things we have done in the past with consultants, with developers. So there is a high level and degree of automation possible. But at the same time, of course, there will always be expertise, there will always be guidance as well, which will come from experts.
And if we look at automation, can Joule help with adoption? Can Joule detect like, oh, you're doing a manual task every week, every day? You can automate that with a Joule agent or Joule task or skill or...
I mean, I wouldn't say it's done by Joule, but this is where, for instance, Signavio comes in, right?
Okay.
In Signavio, where we have also AI built in, where we have the process modeler, process designer. So basically, you can take your current business process, have it in Signavio, and then you will see the manual steps, you see the automated steps, and then you can see how we can automate. And with integration then with LeanRx, we can also go down then and see the capabilities within the IT infrastructure and the IT environment. So I would rather see this a tool chain topic.
Yeah, but I can imagine that Signavio will detect it, but Joule will report it to the user because that's always in the new UX.
Yeah, I mean, the way I would look at it is when you mean it, not sure I understand the question.
If Signavio detects you're doing a manual task every week and you can automate it, the Joule comes in because it's always in the UX and says, hey, Signavio detected that you're doing this and this and this. Why don't you automate it? Because then you're...
I'll give you one example. I mean, let's take an example. You do a purchase order validation and you do it manually.
Yeah.
Now you would look at your process Signavio and say each user goes in, is manually mapping the purchase order to whatever data. Now you could then say, okay, I can do this with AI. Yeah, I can automate this. I can do it, and then we could use Joule for developer to generate, for instance, clean core compliant the code, and we bring it into it, and then your business process has a automatic validation of your purchase order, which then would be eventually automate the manual task.
Yeah, I understand, but what I meant was that when Signavio detects something, that you leverage Joule as an messaging service, like, hey, we detected that you can automate more of your processes and be more efficient within the platform.
Yeah,
That
of
was
course,
what I
because,
mean.
because your interaction with
Yeah.
Signavio will be with Joule, because Joule will be the de facto interface to all our SAP
Okay.
solutions. So eventually, yeah, I mean, the idea is that we interact with all of our solutions via Joule. In that sense, yes, of course, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Thomas, for this
Pleasure.
nice talk.
Pleasure.
Thank you for watching Techzine Talks, and up to the next one.
Good.